Hello and welcome back to another episode of PopCulture Reacts as we are working our way through OK Computer by the Radiohead. We're at track 2, Paranoid Android, which, if you watched yesterday's video, you know how much of a
Yeah.
plinth this has been put on by you, Mr. Friend.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't help, does it? Like me going, "Oh, it's my favourite song ever." And it is. I'm not going to lie to you. It is my favourite song ever. We're doing it with the video. I almost suggested we didn't do it with the video, purely because, and not to spoil it, I really like the video as well. I feel like the video could be distracting, but get over yourself. Just because it's your favourite song, let the boy watch the video.
I'm pretty sure I've
It's not all
seen
about
the
me.
video before as well.
You may well have, yeah. It has quite an iconic look to it, and was playing on when music channels actually played videos,
Yes.
and it wasn't just reality TV's. I'm gonna say X on the Beach. I don't know whether that actually is what
Jersey
a show is
Shore.
called. Oh, that sort of thing. Yeah. Although I think those sort of things are probably considered passe now. They're probably about 15, 16 years old. So we need to upgrade our reality TV knowledge. So yeah. What a song you know?
I would have heard it. I couldn't tell you it off the top of my head,
Oh,
though.
cool. Well,
So, is it about Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
let's go with no, but that's why the song title's called that.
Ah,
Like, yeah, like, and there is degrees of like without sort of getting. And we said this on the last one. I've lived this album for 26 years, so for me. There's so many meanings into these songs that I've made up myself, but yeah, certainly in interviews and things, there is an element of the concept of a paranoid android, but yeah, Marvin is the inspiration for the song title. But it's not a song about him. Like
ah.
it's not his autobiography. No.
So, shall we see our android friend?
Yeah, let's do this. Just gave it a second there for the little baby to get his little fishy.
So yeah,
So, Paranoid Android.
this one, once it started, I remembered what it was. There was like, oh yes, I remembered. Originally it was one of those of I don't mind this one. In the pantheon of what I'd heard, better on a fucking comeback to it. Though misheard lyrics when they say "What's that?" in the "I'm not paranoid, I'm an android" bit. I always thought it said "wasted." Wasn't I looked at the lyrics, but I
Um,
always misheard it as "wasted."
he said that. Oh no, I'm gonna shut up for a minute. You go. You go. 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 Talk. But no, actually, I lied because I never let you talk. Just for a bit of context as well, you know, we said about in Airbag an autobiographical element to this. One of the inspiring parts of this was a fight that Tom York saw in a New York bar. A woman, and I think it was like a kind of heady night, lots of people drinking, lots of cocaine and stuff like that. And like parts of this, like the Gucci little piggy bit, is like he just saw someone kind of absolutely lose it, and that was kind of the initial, I guess, nuggets for writing the song was,
Yeah.
I guess, how human beings act and how they act in comparison to other human beings. But yes, that was just the contextual part. Another little bit of autobiographical Tom York again.
But yeah, obviously love the heavy bits because of course give me some down tuning and some reverb and that feeds right into my loving. Um, this one, as I said, at the time I think I just sort of went, yeah. It wasn't doing the indie thing that I wanted, and it wasn't heavy enough to be the heavy stuff I wanted back in '97. So I think it was dismissed because of that. It wasn't jangly enough for my indie. It wasn't heavy enough for my heavy.
It's funny when you say it wasn't jangly enough. Yeah, like a term oft used back in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, now coming back to it, like I could, and hearing it again for the first time in probably 20 fucking years,
Yeah,
and hearing like how the bits work together and the juxtaposition on that, and having it through headphones is probably the first time I've ever listened to it through
yeah.
headphones.
Oh, by the
You
way, I went
hear
up to absolute max during that as well through the headphones. I was like, no, I'm having this on top volume.
there are bits that you don't hear when you hear it on the fucking radio or through the telly or whatever, or in a pub.
Oh, well, I was going to say, yeah, like hearing it in the background of a pub, you're going to pick up, let's say, 60% of it, which is a lot. But yeah, I hope with it in your earphones, you start to pick up some of the extra, including extra odd bits like your robotic voice that is saying,
Which
um,
I'd never
I'm
heard that
paranoid
bit
on an Android. Yeah, yeah.
until hearing it through headphones.
And like that concept runs through this album, but this really is, and I said it a few times in the bends about hearing stuff in the bends that I didn't know at the time, but birth stuff that comes in OK Computer, things like that starting to drop into the background of
Mm.
songs, very much births where Radiohead ultimately go. I think these are the things, those snippets, those extra elements that are being added into songs like this. This is the pathway for, I think, what they want to be as a band and what they want to do as a band. Uh, I don't creative, interesting. I mean, I think everyone wants to be creative and interesting and thinks there are, but I think there's that extra kind of lilt there of going, no, we want this bit has to be in this song or it's not the song it should be. And there's lots of stuff creeping in
Mm.
as we go through the songs like this. And you said about the um probably if you heard it in a pub you might picked up on the heavy bit, but you're going, well, the whole song as a whole isn't heavy enough, or it isn't jangly enough, or things like that. So I put my head back into ye old me, but also like current me. Is that's the thing that really resonated with me, is this did multiple different genres, styles, tempos, emotions, all in one track. And that's not to say no one's ever done it before, but I think they did it so well. And
Mm.
that was the thing that grabbed me initially before I even started to dig into kind of the lyrics, what they're saying, the way that it's sung. That I think was the thing that really floated my boat initially, was going, wow, other people right now aren't doing this, and these guys didn't have to, but they've got something. And yeah, and then 26 years later, I've decided that everything is in this song. It's the Holy Bible.
Good Manics album.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as I said, this is definitely one of those of. I think it was a victim, as I said, of the time, it not being either or. So I dismissed it
Yeah.
because it wasn't either or. But yeah, I can see why now, say looking back on it, and like why this was held in such a regard at the time. Yeah, and I can see the level in there that it is very, very, very good.
Well, I think it's, and to break it down as to how it is in my head, I said about like the fluctuations. It's a song
Mm,
in three parts, but when I say it's a song in three parts, it really makes me feel like it's almost a mini opera for me, or a mini like performance,
mm,
because you've got the style of music at the beginning, then we get heavier, then we come out the other side. And yeah, having lived with it for a very long time and listened to the lyrics that went up, but I will say a lot of this really caught me straight away. Is And why I think I love this album so much and why I love this song so much is, back then, get ready for a big bit of hyperbole here. This song made me become the human that I am, and this song made me want to be the human that I probably aren't yet and probably never will get to. And that sort of stayed with me ever since. And I think the thing that does it, and it's not that I think it's a song where like it's about, oh, here's your moral code. This song, I think, in its three parts, is, I've always thought about the Tom York in this as an unreliable narrator. So he is telling the story as he is at the time. So in that initial part, he is what I probably was when I heard this song, which is a snarky little prick who was just like, everyone else is wrong. Look, I'm on this planet with loads of people who don't get it. Da 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 da. And that's the bit I still need to work on because I'm still a snarky little prick. But and then you kind of get to that kind of middle section where that turns into anger, because you get that bit beforehand where it's and like, to paraphrase, why does no one know my name? But that anger comes in because they realize they kind of do know your name, but you're inconsequential because
yeah.
you are that thing that you're pointing at. And then you kind of come out of it to this realization, and I don't want to kind of go to some sort of like Buddha perfect human being state, because even in that, like you end the song with like, God loves his children, God loves his children, which you're kind of going, oh, like, but then you get that sarcastic yeah at the end, like
Yeah.
that kind of fatalistic, we're here, all we can do is do our best, there is no one watching over us, there is no one doing this. And as I say, I've had years with this song, so that's kind of. But there was a lot of that I like really hit me straight away, because it really hit me of going, do you know what? You are part one of this, and you don't want to be part one, because here's someone who's brave enough to probably go, I was part one of this, and I looked at the world, and it made me want to. Obviously, I embraced the anger phase, because who doesn't? Everyone loves the anger phase, don't they? But
Exactly.
but the probably the place to get to is, for me, be better, but be better for the right reason. It's not because here we go deep. It's not because there's a heaven in the air, because there isn't. But be better because everyone's you. You're all the same. You're all paranoid androids. You're all sat there in your own mind trying to present that you're better than people, or you're smarter than people because that's what you have to do to survive in the jungle of the human race. We've often talked about this because obviously you've got a boy at school. Like when you're a kid at school, you're a prick, aren't you? Like, because you're kind
Yep.
of going, better to be a prick than be treated like one. And you kind of go through that sort of part of it. But yeah, this was kind of a real realization moment for me to kind of go, you think you come out the other side of it, but no, actually, you're still probably that person, but you're directing it in such a way as, I don't know, a bit of moral superiority. And I said about the person I want to be. I think I'd love to not have any of those sides to me at all, but I am accepting. And I think another thing this song does really well is I'm accepting that I am a human. I am a
Yeah.
paranoid android. I am susceptible to this stuff, but it's about, I guess, trying to afford as much control as I can, and guess trying to make that not impact other people in the world negatively, and not going into a bar and starting a fight where you disturb everyone and everyone's scared, things like that. But yeah, it's a masterpiece for me, both musically and lyrically. I think it's fantastic, and as I say, it's got things starting to bleed into this album, like things like voices in the background that are admittedly sort of saying paranoid android, and it's a robotic voice, it's an android song, but this kind of extra things phasing in and out of songs.
Yeah. It reminds me as if, because again, it was another thing that I didn't realize until having a decent set of headphones to listen to it. When you listen to like the latter day Beatles stuff, and you hear the textures and bits and stuff like
Yeah.
that on the radio, or even with a decent set of speakers, you're
Yeah.
not gonna hear it because it's sort of buried in the mix. But if you've got a set of headphones on, you just pick those little bits up.
So when they
And
record this album, a lot of it is they record it. Excuse my poor music terminology, but simultaneously. So a lot of the album isn't mixed afterwards. They play it together at the same time and record it in one job lot.
yeah,
Now, obviously, for some of it, it isn't because there are layers, textures in, but they do go very. You'll hear it in a lot of the tracks. There's some real kind of rawness on the sound and where some of the instruments are, but they just kind of went, we've written this, let's play it and record it, but like it's not someone necessarily sitting in the studio doing your dials up and down to make sure that everyone's in the right place at the right time. It's let's do this kind of raw on a lot of the stuff,
mm,
and still manage to get in those textures and layers, as you say. But that might be what encourages those textures and layers. The taking away the slickness of overproduction sometimes, maybe,
yeah, but yeah, yeah. So far, 2 for 2.
because it's
So
the greatest album ever written, possibly.
we'll have that fight another day.
Oh, I don't plan on having that fight with you. That fight's an internal battle between this and Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder because they're just both masterpieces. But
So let us know down there what you lot all think. We will be
P.S.
back.
Very very quickly, amazing video, isn't it? But I
Oh
do think the
yes,
video is ultimately, I think for what we're doing, probably quite distracting from the song, isn't it? Because even I, who've heard it thousands of times, watched it thousands of times, found myself sometimes getting distracted by the video rather than enjoying the song.
so yes, we will be back with Subterranean Homesick Alien.
Catchy title.
This reminds me of emo song titles where it's just like weird random word generator make up your song title.
It's a autobiographical one. It's about the time when Tom York was probed 10 years before this album.
As always, like, subscribe, ring bells, and until next time, good day.